But my first guest of the week described herself as a jollyologist the last time she was with me on the show. She's an inspirational woman who from darkness found inner happiness and real meaning to her life. I'm delighted to welcome her back to Late Lunch today. Marie Fay, it's great to see you again.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Thanks for having me on.
I'll never forget that word. I remember that jollyologist. That's what you are.
Well, I guess some days jollier than others, yes, but it's a fun way to look at life, and I suppose you could be called worse, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could indeed. You make an interesting point though there, even for being happy and, as I said, finding inner peace yourself. It's not possible, is it, Marie, to maintain that all of the time?
Well, life happens. We all have our ups and downs, peaks and troughs. So some days we get up in better form than others, really. And I find then that you have to make a little bit more of an effort on some days than others. But yet, to maintain it, I think to try and say that you maintain it all the time wouldn't be correct, because we all have life's issues and life's challenges, but it's how you deal with them. And you can still maintain a level of joy and happiness within yourself, I think, no matter what's going on. So, I've seen that and I've experienced it myself. You can still feel sad, you can still feel fearful, you can still, feel a little bit down, but yet ultimately you still have this core of happiness and joy within yourself. So I think it does stay all the time. It's like the sun with the clouds. Sometimes it gets clouded over. It doesn't mean it's gone away. It's just we can't see it all the time, but it's always there.
From I met you outside and I was saying it there, there's a warmth about you. There's something radiates from you. You're always smiling as well. Yeah,
well, I suppose I'm known as the Smiley Girl. Smiley has been my kind of nickname over the years. Lovely Smiley Girl is what I would have been known as. So I guess it's just part of me nature. And it's funny, sometimes when I'm walking down the street, people smile at me or say hello and I'm going, am I smiling? But I think it comes through your eyes maybe, or it's just that energy that you have. But
and obviously people pick that up from you, because this is the area you work in. You are a mentor to people.
Yes. I mean, it has been a journey to get to this stage. I did go through some difficult times with postnatal depression. We spoke about that the last time I was on, and the journey through that. So, I think you do find yourself sometimes when you go through a difficult period like that, when on your knees you find your treasure, because really you have to look somewhere. So you have to look within then, because it's really where all the answers do lie. So in that journey I met my own mentor, and a lovely gentleman called Patrick Wright from Dublin. I met him at a course and we began a journey then. So it led on then that I started doing mentoring myself. So I would offer a couple of different mentoring programs.
In what, for example, Marie? What are you talking about? I mentioned inner happiness and contentment in life. Is that part of it?
Well, yes, I mean, that's really the core of everything, isn't it? Like, the goal of all goals is happiness. Like, what do we want anything for? Really, it is to have that feeling of happiness within ourselves. So whether it's that perceived job that we want, or the relationship, or the holiday, or, change of career, a car, anything at all. Like, really, why do you want anything? It's to have that feeling of happiness. So I guess what I do is, there are two kind of different elements. One is really for people who are looking to make a change in their lives, in any area of their life. So it would be a vision design for life, where we look at, where are you coming from? What is it that you would like? So a lot of people don't know what that is. So it's a process of going through that. So touching base with really what makes you zing, what brings you that happiness, what hobbies do you have, what, it can be anything from gardening to running a country, So that's about putting in place, different things that can help you to form a picture of that. And, the vision is very important I have discovered that myself, and I would work with vision boards and, dream boards, some people call it, where you form pictures of what it is that you would like. And sometimes it doesn't make sense when you're cutting them or what you're attracted to, but just even to go with that and trust that you have an inner compass within you guiding you to what that is. And we think in images, we dream in images, so we're very much visual beings. So it's about forming a vision for your life and then putting a plan in place and steps in place as to how you can achieve those and, what feels right and what feels like the next step for you. It's very much a feeling-based programme that I would offer. So that's on one side. So that's a particular thing. The other one would be revealing the real you, where, people are looking for guidance in a general way in their lives. So it's not a set structured thing. It's basically what you want to talk about. I help people to, discover their own solutions. There's always a solution to a problem, and it generally lies within yourself. So it's to help people to find that within themselves. So I love it.
Do you think this is good for anybody really to do, Marie? Because a lot of people just plod along. And
and some people have it naturally. There's lots of people that I know that don't, want mentoring or whatever, because they nearly naturally have it. They have this positive way with them, positive attitude. It's all really comes down to your own personal attitude and tools that you have yourself. So there are people who wouldn't want or need it, but there are others who need to be prompted along, and I was one of them. I did need a little bit of assistance to help me get back on track, and once I found my feet, it was just wonderful that you could see, oh yes, I can see now how I would be able to go after that, or even just to not feel as though I need to be doing anything and just feel happy within that moment. It's all about how you feel in the moment. So it's not for everybody, but it is very beneficial for those that are looking to move forwards and feel a little bit stuck.
Do you still refer to your mentor, or do you refer to your mentor?
Absolutely, yes. Well, we'd be very good friends. He would be one of my life buddies now. So, we'd have lovely conversations now at this stage. But yes, we'd keep in regular contact. And as I said, he would be a very good friend of mine.
We spoke the last time you were here that the country's been in a dark place for quite a time, and I suppose people need mentoring whether the times are good or difficult. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, economically. But do you get any sense of feeling that there's a bit of a turn in the corner in the country from the people you come into contact with, or what you in the circle you move in?
Yeah, well, I guess you would see that people are more positive, actually, and I suppose what I would see, like the people I meet, that's probably the best part of what I do, is actually the people that you meet along the way on your journey of, the courage that people have, the determination, the willingness to look at things in a different way and say, okay, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So, if you feel that your life isn't just exactly the way you'd like it, well, there are things that you can do to help you shift that, but you actually have to put into practice something different now. So I think people, I find, are open to trying new things, looking at things in a different way. We've gotten used to, I think we've gotten over the hump of, oh, well, this is terrible, what are we going to do about this? It's kind of, right, well, what can we do about it? What can I do personally in my own life to shift things around? And I do find that people are more positive in their outlook from what I've come across.
That's good to hear. And that's what I want to get across today, because there seems to have been a turn. There seems to have been a move on, even though there's a fear that we'll lapse back.
There's no going back.
I like that. No going back.
No.
That's what we should adopt as the mantra.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Moving forwards, yeah.
What about yourself, and maybe to give a few pointers to listeners today, what makes you happy? Or are there a few things that people can do to generate happiness within themselves, or not do to cause unhappiness on the other hand?
Yes, well, we can talk about this till the cows come home. What time is it?
You're all right, because the cows will be home for us at 2:00, so we have a bit of time. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Do you mind if I take a short break here?
No problem.
And then we'll come back on those lines. And I want to just mention, Marie has kindly offered to mentor one of you out there today. Would you like to meet Marie and work with her? Just one person out there. If you'd like to meet her, she's offering it to you, aren't you, this afternoon?
Yes, absolutely.
Just text us your name and details now to 53958, or you can call in as well to 1850 715 958. Marie Fay is inspirational, and she's with us on Late Lunch this afternoon. OK, the cows are coming home in about 10 minutes time, so here we go. Happiness. A few pointers from you.
Happiness. Well, happiness is the goal of all goals, isn't it? And, no matter what we do, really, that's what we're all looking for. And, you can go after all in the world and think that it will bring you happiness. But for me, it's finding that within yourself first, and then everything else follows. But there are a few things, like we're just after having a chat there in the break, and what makes me sing is totally different than what makes you sing, Jerry. To what makes my husband and your wife sing. Everybody's different. So you have to follow, well, what is it that does make me happy? Or it's not even make you happy. It's like it nearly extracts it from you. The happiness is already there. We were born with happiness within us. There's nothing that has to be added to us in order for us to feel happy. You are it. But, life happens and we can get caught up with our thoughts and build stories around things that'll never happen, and you're wasting precious moments of your life. So it's to really have the awareness that your happiness is already there. So it's how you can extract that. And it's literally maybe doing some things. What are you inspired to do? What, do you love to watch films? Do you love to read? Do you love to drive rally cars? Do you love to garden? Do you love to cook? Do you love to make videos? Whatever it is, that's your gift, that's your talent, and that's your inner compass saying, okay, come this way. This is where you will allow your happiness to flow. So it's just, finding what that is for you.
And tapping into it.
And tapping into it, yeah. And sometimes you do have to maybe make a bit of an effort, because, things can happen and you can be wobbled and thrown, and, you spiral into that thought process of, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or, having the money to do that. But then, to try and work through that and say, right, okay, well, pick up a book that will switch in the moment, and, or listen to a piece of music. That's a great way for changing your vibe. Like that. I believe that everything kind of is on a vibration. We all can relate to, I don't get a good vibe from this, or I do get a good vibe from that. We can all relate to that. So, you feel good when you're in an environment that you feel is a happy vibe. So put yourself in as many situations as possible that is going to allow your vibration to come to that level, and, the happiness will flow. And I know there are situations and different things that can happen to people, and, everybody has something, I think. But it's how you deal with that, how you look at it, to look at what you do have rather than what you don't have. That's a big one. And be grateful for what you do have. Attitude of gratitude, again, that's massive. It really can change your whole perspective.
Do you know the way we look at other people and think, God, they're so happy?
I know.
They have so much of that. Is that something to avoid?
Well, you see, the thing is not to compare yourself to anybody, because you really don't know where anybody's at. And we're all doing the best that we can. Whatever we can bring to the world, we can approach life, what can I get from this? And that's very much a lack. How can I get? Whereas if you approach it with, how can I give? Oh my God, your energy just comes right up, and you actually feel happy thinking about that. If a smile, holding open a door, having a chat with somebody,
little things,
giving somebody a trolley at the supermarket with your euro in it. There you go. Or just giving people time, your kids, being present with them. your families, your friends. They're all things that encourage you to feel happy because you're bringing something rather than looking for something. So it's about kindness. I mean, I read something recently about, is kindness the best wisdom there is? That, if we feel that, I think we're built with this within us, that we like to make other people feel good because it makes us feel good, So it's about all these little things, that's just switching your way of approaching your day, and being thankful for what you do have, seeing all the gifts that are around you and within you, and realising that, that you can do lots of different things within a day that can encourage you to feel happy.
You mentioned there about, you alluded to someone being in a rut maybe,
right.
And I'm taking on new things that you feel maybe I can't do this or I don't.
Yeah.
Is it good to challenge yourself and maybe look at something new if you feel that your life is mundane and you're stuck in a, Groundhog Day scenario?
Yeah. I mean, think of a time when you have decided, I really would like to do this. And you could do it. You could stay up all night and do it, and you wouldn't be tired. You'll not notice that you're hungry, because you've decided that you really want to do this, and it feels good. But when you're in a rut, sometimes you have to push yourself to see, right, well, what can I do differently? Because again, I'll come back to the definition of insanity: doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You really have to shake it up. So, brush your teeth in a different way in the morning, tie your shoelaces, drive home a different way or walk home a different way. Just put yourself in an environment that's different, that you'll notice something different, that you'll maybe listen to a different piece of music, or just shake it up a bit and start shifting your energy, and then you'll notice then that you'll be drawn to different things. You when you're in that rut, you do have to make that little bit of an effort to push yourself. And gosh, how good you feel when you achieve something. Isn't it just amazing?
It is. It opens up a new vista for you.
Absolutely. You feel as though you could just take on the world, so it's worth it.
What about money? Because everyone thinks if I win the lotto tomorrow morning, Marie, I'm on the pig's back.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, money does, you say, will buy you freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. But when you say, I want to win the lottery, it's literally not the money that you want. It's the experience that you think that it'll buy you. So it's to start tapping into, well, what do you think that would feel like? You can literally have the experience of being anywhere, doing anything right now in your imagination if you close your eyes. And, you can be sitting in a cafe in Monaco, drinking coffee with the sunshine on your face, watching the world go by and all the celebrities, or, you can just imagine anything in your mind. You can actually have that feeling right now. So the more that you put yourself into those feeling tones, and maybe you'll attract something that you don't even need the money for. You might win a holiday, or you might have an opportunity with your work. Something might come up. So it's not to be focusing on, I haven't got it, so I can't. I really need the money for. It's kind of making the decision that, okay, yeah, well, I can do something today that's small that will start bridging that gap towards what I think that money will buy me. But it is the biggie for a lot of people is, and
yet it brings shocking unhappiness at times.
You can have a miserable millionaire. I'm absolutely, totally miserable millionaire. So, I mean, money can't, does money buy happiness? Really, you can say it buys you a short-term happiness. But ultimately, they say that people who win the lottery actually revert back to their level of happiness within 6 months. So whatever that is, whether it was high or low, you'll still revert back to whatever programs you're running off in your daily life anyway. So you can tune into happiness now without the money, and who knows, maybe it will come then. So, but a bit more money wouldn't hurt anybody, sure it wouldn't.
No, I don't think it would, and it would give you the opportunity, I suppose, to do things once you managed it well. I think that's the key. Now, life is short, and we've said that many times here before. It passes by quickly, and we're always living for tomorrow and looking ahead. But I know the last time we spoke as well, you're one for saying, look, if you have something on your mind, really get to it now.
Yes. Well, life is short, really. There is no tomorrow. So I think really a very levelling thought is, if there's something that you want to do, well, why not do it? And, there is no tomorrow. So it's about today. It's about in the moment now. And even if it's something small, if you want to, like say with me with my cards, I would have got the inspiration for that a couple of years ago, but it took me 2 years to do kind of something about it. But yet it was gestating. The idea was there. I was thinking about it. I was getting ideas, and doing something maybe on a daily basis, just to bring it closer and closer and closer. But do something today. Absolutely, yeah.
You mentioned the cards there, the calendar as well. What have you been doing? What are these cards? What's the calendar you produced?
Okay, yeah, no, I've wanted to do this for a while. I would have been given a birthday card a couple of years ago, and I just thought, oh, isn't that wonderful? Just a one-liner. This world is big enough for all our dreams, especially yours. And a blank card on the inside, I thought, wow, isn't that just amazing to get for your birthday, So I thought, right, well, I would write inspirational quotes on Facebook every day, and my website, and, I love writing blogs and all things kind of positive and encouraging people, prompting, I suppose, including myself. So I thought, right, well, cards would be a lovely idea to do, that it's a subtle way of just bringing a little joy and happiness into somebody's life. And I mean, the greeting card industry is just colossal. And if you looked at it, you'd say, oh, well, there's no point. But yet, this is something I wanted to do, and this was a gift that I gave to myself. I said, right, well, let's just do this.
So you've produced a series of cards now with different inspirational thoughts on them.
And the calendar as well.
And the calendar has that as well. And people can get these for themselves or give them to somebody if they wish. Is that the idea?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, who doesn't need a calendar and who doesn't need cards, So, it's a great way to just have that little prompt. And people have said it to me, oh, I've passed, this month's picture and quote in a certain frame of mind, and you just, whatever just jumps out at them. Like the one in January was, don't wait until this time next year and say, I wish I had done, do it now. There's nothing as grounding as, oh God, will another year be gone by and I haven't done
late
anything
lunch
with what I wanted to do. It's just subtle little hints for people to help them just to switch the vibe. You can't think positive and think negative in the one moment. It has to be one or the other, so choose positive.
And they're available where?
They're available, the calendars now are on my website, the Wearing Shops, at the beginning of the year. So the website is www.mariefayinspiration.com under my store. And the cards are available in Hallmark in the Marshes, the Central News in Clanbrassil Street, Dundalk, McAteer's The Food House in Clanbrassil Street, Dundalk, and Carol's Books in Park Street, Dundalk. And they're also available on my website as well,
which is www.mariefayinspiration.com. You've been an inspiration today. Lovely to meet you again. Wish you well with the future. And we have lots of people looking for mentoring. We'll pick one before the end and put you in touch with them. But for the moment, Marie Fay, thanks for joining me on the show today.
And thanks very much, Jerry, for you being an inspiration every day for all the people who tune in to you. Thank you.
Thanks a million.